when he attacks and all the information that comes through.
Folks, it's what did I just say? Finally time for grand finals of IDYLL2, NFTWin versus Kings. It's worth noting here that NFTWin has to win 2 sets in a row to take the tournament, whereas the Kings can win the tournament by taking the 3 games in this set here. We're starting splat zones here, and both teams pulling out the Flingsel roller here now.
Yeah, I'm not at all surprised. This is a weapon that ICE has made use of for some time. And listen, we don't need to tell you why missiles are strong at this point. You're probably very, very aware of what they can do, a global special. But I think, again, this is a map where you can actually still find a way to contribute with it. I know, K-Bot, you are no fan of this weapon. You think that in many respects it makes you too passive, and I am tempted to agree with it. But this is a map where you can follow up very quickly if you do take a little chip damage onto somebody. And again, when you know that you have 2 weapons with Burst Bomb, a little chip damage goes a long way.
Incredibly true, you know, to that point, if we can find the amount of chip damage that's there, you'll be able to see it. But yeah, I mean, I don't think the stocks are high in this weapon, but it doesn't matter what I think. It matters what the players think, and they've got the stocks riding pretty high. But we're seeing here, Kings have quite a strong presence here on top of the zone, and they're potentially in knockout territory. Kuro actually to charge forward, challenging this crab, gonna get taken down in the process, and now it looks like the Kings might have gotten a little overzealous, trying to take over too much territory. It looks like the zone's gonna flip back here in NFTWin's favor, but they're gonna have to start moving forward to get set up in stronger positions. Otherwise, it's gonna be a quick cack back for the Kings.
Yeah, and that's one of those plays that you make with the idea that you're sort of playing for the next 30 seconds here. You're going to attack. If you do manage to get that crab to look away and misdirect it, or even take the crab rider out, you might win the game right then and there. If you get taken out, you know there's 2 members left of your team that can at least hold presence on the map and slow down the opponent as they move through. But we are well beyond whatever that play may have opened up for them here, and NFTWin has finally found not only their footing, but enough footing to throw a major counterpunch. ICE has these missiles waiting for the team members to identify where they're going to attack from here. It's all about piecing it together. He gets 3. Let's see what the follow-up on these is.
Missiles pop back the other direction here, and actually no one through NFTWin is rather far forward to try to capitalize off of some of the space that those missiles tried to generate.
Oh.
Catcher comes in from Shelton, but ICE is able to cancel that out almost immediately here, and now it's a 2 versus 2 on the map for the zone. ICE is trying to look to get a little bit more chip damage here, but of course Chara is also looking right back with another Flingsel roller, another set of 10 missiles popped, fired. Now that's going to allow Kings to start to come on back in here, and you see the boil bomb come out as well. That's going to be Chara actually comes up with 3 with the missiles. Excuse me, able to find enough chip damage there, and that's the wipeout on the NFTWin.
Oh, and we said earlier, like, they're waiting to call out where they're going to attack from with the missiles. We were saying that about NFTWin, and that's what it looks like when you're able to set it up properly there. Certainly the Booyah Bomb allowing the other members to move forward there. Make no mistake, the members of NFTWin did not simply let themselves get hit there. It was the pressure coming from all angles. Now they have to use their specials right now to give themselves an opportunity to push in. They're going to try to take the zone with just that. One of them goes down, and it is the Shelton. That's just the last one left. So again, both of these teams finally getting into the set play aspect of splat zones here, where they're going to throw missile after missile after bomb at the zone. And it's going to be whoever can finally break through and get a counter special at the right time, or an unforced error is made. That may be enough. Shelton does go down. And another one goes down. That's a lot of space they just built. Oh my goodness, K-Bot, another one goes down.
Kyo coming in for the back angle. I don't think it was actually fully called out. It looks like he is gonna get taken down in the process though, and it looks like the zone's gonna flip back here in the favor of the Kings. But it's not gonna happen for long. It immediately gets contested as Best gets charging forward back on the right street. Now it's gonna retreat on back to the rest of the team, but it's gonna be NFTWin that currently has control of this zone. 54 seconds left to play here. These teams are neck and neck, and it looks like Kuro is gonna be able to come up with a trade there on that side. It's a 2-down situation for the Kings, and it might allow NFTWin to move forward here, especially with those missiles that were just gone out as well. Kyo has moved forward in pretty far position. This might be the opportunity for them to take over the lead here. We see Kyo dashing forward, but now Ice is going to get caught out with some 10 missiles there as well. The zone flips back. There was nobody else around for NFTWin.
Oh, and we said earlier an unforced error might be what breaks this game. There was not any other pressure on ice there. That simply was a slip up, something that is so uncommon to see from a player of his caliber. He was the paint there that was going to be able to stall it out and let the other members come through. Now ProChara is in a devious position, will be able to attack anybody who comes from this side. The missiles will slow it down, and now everyone just has to look at one angle. That's the zone. Can they paint? Here we go. It's not enough in time, and the Kings will hold on. But what an effort from NFTWin to bring that one back in that fashion.
Oh, they kept it neck and neck for so long. And you mentioned it, multiple times. If they're able to push up, if they're able to have the missiles and able to target the things that they want to target and the things that they have in their plan, it'll actually end up going to their favor quite well. And it did for a lot of those cases. But at the end of the day, it's got to be able to find those holds. And admittedly, it's tricky, right? Like you said, when you've got everything in the kitchen sink getting thrown at you, missiles, bombs, fizzy bombs, I mean, all of these sorts of things. And then maybe it's paired on top of a zip caster or something of the sort. Where is there to go? The answer is, I don't know, right? But nonetheless, it is going to be the Kings that are able to come away with that one, able to play that kind of a style, just exactly what they needed in the moment to come away from that one. And that's another thing to talk about, Nine, is we could talk about strategy all you want. But at this point, we're, 4 hours into the tournament, 5 hours into the tournament, something of the sort. At this point, the players are starting to get tired. It's going to be a matter of who's going to perform better right now. Who's going to be the handful of players that steps up? Who's got their mental game in line and in check? Because especially if you're NFTWin, I mean, you've got a gauntlet ahead of you that you've got to go up against Kings to win 2 sets in a row in order to take back this tournament. There's something to be said for the mental game.
A lot to be said for the mental game, and also who is still thinking at this point even. At a certain point, I feel like these players have so much intrinsic knowledge of the game and understanding of where the opponents are going to go that it becomes an unconscious endeavor. They are attacking ahead of even knowing where the opponents are, because that's simply the spot that players like to go on certain maps and modes. And this is where that starts to come through. Like you said, it's a matter of stamina, it's a matter of the mental game, and it's a matter of the practice and the preparation for it here. The work that you did months ago is what's going to pull you through right now, not the work that you did last week or yesterday. It is about the time that you have put to the grind. And we will move to Clam Blitz Brine Water Springs. So there you go. That's another word that goes like ein. So you can count them up as 3 right there. But this was a map that NFTWin has looked dominant on every time they've touched it, K-Bot.
Yeah, and they absolutely have. Again, I think they have a really strong understanding of how this one actually plays out, right? The win conditions become obvious when you've got one path into the Claim Blitz basket. It's, do we have to push this or do we have to hold this? And at the moment, the composition that NFTWin seems to pull out here, with Bagel going over the mini Splatling, opting for that bubbler, might be one of those keys to success for them, right? If they're able to get Bagel into position there, having that mini in that big bubbler, and then even a splash to come over and join as well, that might hold. But now, we'll see if both these teams opt to stick with these Flingzas. It'll be a little bit interesting to see if they do, because again, not a lot of angles here, and it looks like Chara at least is going to stick with it here, and not going to be the case on the other side. Of course, Ice was the one playing, but is now going to be freed up to go back to Splash, so might as well pick up that Splash.
And I like this look, because in the earlier set, Chara also went over to that Zinc mini Splatling here, and I just felt like there wasn't the same level of contribution. And again, with this weapon and with a global special, you know you'll always have a way to contribute. The question will be, will it be active enough? That's a question they're going to have to figure out an answer to very quickly, but I at least understand the rationale.
And the other thing here too, right, is that so many of these weapons are difficult for someone to just pick up, right? One does not simply pick up a mini Splatling and play it at a high level, especially when we're talking about 3,500 XP power Japanese players, right, in the lobby with you, fighting against you, trying to figure this out. So nonetheless, we'll see what comes of this one here, as now trades are going to happen. Looks like largely going to the favor of Kings, who are now going to take control of mid. They got a few clams in their pocket as well, but they don't have a power clam charged up here. And frankly, really hard to see how they can find one right now, given the fact that I think most of the clams are kind of off the map.
Yeah, kind of off the map or in the hands of NFTWin here. A shot at Ice. That was this close to taking out Ice immediately there. Good job by Ice to at least not move that far forward. Is still getting accosted here by Shelton, who is really kind of neutralized that crab. Had almost no effect, and now Ice is stuck in an awkward position. Gonna try to come down and help the friends. When is the Zipcast gonna come out, and what is its target going to be? The Kings have sort of stalled out here and are waiting for NFTWin to make a mistake. All the while, it does look like one person was able to get through. It's Kyo, who's playing the same role. They're jumping it in. This is 2018, baby.
There it is. The Ultra Stamp comes the hour to enable the jumps to come in, and the Power Clam falls for NFTWin. Gonna hit that barrier, but only gonna get it down to the 74-point mark. That's not too much, all things considered, but now Kyo is gonna be able to jump in again. Might be looking to try to get something done on the back lines here, and is able to find 2 for the trouble. Gonna get taken down in the process, and no additional follow-up is gonna come in for NFTWin. But there's still something to be said for that play from Kyo. He's able to stall things out, and it's gonna prevent Kings from actually building up an aggressive presence. They're gonna have to slow down a little bit.
Yeah, it's the same concept we talked about earlier. You're making the play for the next 30 seconds of gameplay, and you know that with those 2 now, the opponent is going to have to work that much harder to move through. They push through here, and Chara is here. They have more than enough claims to take the lead. They aren't able to get both of them in. I was wondering if they were going to continue to fight or if they were going to simply start mashing the throw button. It appears that they weren't able to get the lead, and all the while, Kyo took that opportunity and ran straight forward there to slow them down. And now look at this. NFTWin is back pressuring again. They have their own power clan moving forward. If they take 1 or 2 of these members out as they start with Shelton himself, this could get ugly in a hurry. There's a lot of threat to be had.
Ultra Stamp out. Maybe Kyo's going to be looking for the path forward here, but it's going to get taken down by the crab of Kuro. Looks like nonetheless NFTWin's able to throw in a power claim there, at least 1. And now that bubble is going to go out, but it's going to get collapsed on by the members of Kings. They're going to be coming back here and able to build up enough of a map presence in order to stop that push. But now, again, they got a little bit of work to do. They still haven't been able to find a fast way over to the basket to the same path or the same degree that NFTWin was able to just a moment ago. And they still have to find an opening, but maybe they found it. The splash player is down, the crab isn't there, and now we've got the Zipcaster out for Shelton.
Oh, the Zipcaster hit Bagel too. Bagel moves just far enough back to take that through. The presence and the calm of Bagel to be able to pull that through. Yes, I know he goes down there, but if he had gone down there, he had enough chip damage that he might have been able to. There almost certainly would have been a major threat of a push that happens. Kuro wins the 1v1 with Ice, and hold on, the entire time there was fire at the top. Will they have enough? They're going to have to fight it here. They do have their pity clam that is back at spawn, but will it be too slow? It will be too slow. They're simply going to opt to do it the old-fashioned way, and they're still fighting forward. Shelton finally goes down. They're simply going to go back and try to hold mid here. Chara gets the punishment as well and fires at another. Will jump back, has the missiles, preserve it, and the patience of the Kings finally is paid off.
It's paid off this time around, but now NFTWin has to find another opportunity, and they might have actually found it here. Kyo just popped the Ultra Stamp, now going to throw it, not going to find anything for the value. 30 seconds left to go. Kyo goes down. It's a two-gun situation actually for NFTWin, and that's going to mean that mid control goes orange to the favor of Kings. They'll just be throwing their bombs up here onto that side of the map where everyone else is going to be falling in from NFTWin, and I don't know how they're going to find a way back in here. It's probably going to be Kyo's Ultra Stamp or something like we saw at the very beginning of this game, but with Kyo going down yet again, he's not going to have time to charge that thing back up. Where is the angle here? Where's the injury? Where's the opportunity? Ice in the crab tank there is going to try to find a little bit more additional paint on top of the middle of the map, but with Shelton going into the Zipcaster, able to find 2. Now it's a Splatano 1v1 in the middle of the map. He's still alive, but he's going to get taken down nonetheless. It doesn't matter. NFTWin 3 down at the end of the game, and Kings are going to walk away with game 2.
Shelton! Look, it was going to be, you had a great line there. Where is the injury here? They had to use 2 specials to simply try to push back into mid, and one of those was the crab tank. There was not a lot of staying power. It was looking dark for them anyway. But when Shelton takes one out, lands, gets another one immediately on the landing, and then you're not able to close the deal. Shelton took 3 out there solo. There was not assistance. He just did it himself. And we said earlier, you don't beat Shelton. This is what it looks like. When he is at his very best, you can't let him live. You let him get away one time, he will make you pay.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, and again, like, you know, there's so much to be said there at the very end of the game. I'm a firm believer that it is very rare and should hardly ever be expected to watch an overtime push actually come to fruition, right? Because not only are you're scrambling, all of the pressure, all of the anxiety of everything for the past 5 minutes now boils down to the last few seconds of the game. It's going to be difficult to pull off regardless, right? But even still, coming back from that one, it didn't feel like there was a way in. It didn't feel like there was a path in. And some of that has to do with the fact that, we don't see a lot of free specials that you're just going to be able to go in and start applying so much of a larger presence, especially perhaps in a world where they're not allowed to run things like triple crab. But nonetheless, we'll see what the game plan is here. But there it is, 9. This is potentially NFTWin's final counter pick of the tournament. They have to in order to reset the bracket here, to get back to an even scoreline versus Kings to try to win the tournament, they have to win the next 3 games in a row, starting on their own counter pick, but then going through Kings' 2 counter picks of their own. We'll start in Game 3, Clan Blitz Museum.
You make a great point, too, about the stabilization that Crab gives you, because we are so accustomed to assuming that if 2 members are still up and one of them has Crab, that's a defense. You'll be able to slow the opponent down enough for everybody to respawn in. And that's one of the reasons why you have seen things like the quick respawn Stamper, the quick respawn Wiper, the Tetras be as strong as they are, because they give you an opportunity to redirect, to move through, to make your deaths mean a little bit less here as you try to break through the stalemates and the defenses that Crab can set up. But in a 1 Crab only world, we're starting to see that you got to get a little creative with the way that you're breaking through these attacks and the way that you're trying to defend. And it's been fascinating thus far, even though we're seeing a lot of weapons we're familiar with.
Folks, it's tournament point for the Kings here. Chara back on the Zimmy Splatling here, trying to provide a little bit more of that additional support. But we're back to Clan Blitz. That Bubbler's coming out here, and Ice is back over to the Flingza Roller here as well.
Shelton immediately going forward and fighting. Gets taken out here. That's fine. We're just activating our QR, everybody. That's how it goes. But it is going to open up a lot of room. Terra's over on that side safely in bubble, but nothing is safe when Kyo is this far forward and attacking. Now the missiles are coming in, and man, if they don't score off of this, Kyo is going to be so angry here. Has played everything so well. Biscuit now is going to have to move back up, try to get the jump here, tossed it up, and then tossed the Booyah Bomb up there as well. Throwing more specials. You can't let that opening effort go like this. There goes the power claim. The threat is not yet gone, but man, Kyo absolutely blew that game open at the start.
But that's the thing, is that sometimes you're looking for the play and the rest of your team isn't ready to follow up, isn't ready to adapt. Now it looks like they might have been able to find that as we see Ice on that power clam, but still in mid-spinner here, and now distracted by the fact that Kurokura's over here on this far side, but doesn't matter. Looks like in the fight underneath the basket, 2 down for the Kings, and it's going to be that NFTWin finds their power clam finally, a minute into the game nearly, and now we're going to see a few more clams try to get followed up here, but now Ice has to back away here as well, and it's only going to be down to 71 for them to kick things off.
Yeah, kind of rough there again. We've kind of joked about it a lot at this point here. There was an opportunity for some real big scoring there. Credit the members of the Kings for holding on ever so slightly. They have not yet got back to mid, and Kurokura got that crab at the last possible frame. Kyo is still moving forward to try to punish it there. I don't even know where Kurokura went off to here, but Kyo is still moving forward to attack. They might score some more here. Some very well-placed missiles are going to make this defense even harder. But again, another special to slow down the attack on that block. They have defended this almost perfectly thus far.
And that's the thing, if you can single out Kyo and make sure that he can't actually find a ton of value, even if he ends up breaching your plat, and there's no other way for the rest of NFTWin to follow up off of it, hey, you know what? Kyo can keep storming towards the plat. We'll keep picking him off. That's exactly what the Kings are trying to do now, but of course, they still need to find their own aggressive play at some point in this game, and they've been going for trades most of this match so far. Now Bagel's able to get one onto Shelton and Zipcast. It's a 3-down situation as the Kings were trying to move forward, and now there's 2 power claims barreling towards the basket of the Kings. NFTWin are going to find them both, and now this Crab Tank in the Greats is going to pick up a little bit more pressure. Looks like Kurokura is going to be able to take it down, but 30 now is the number for NFTWin. And the Kings have their work cut out for them here. They've got to come up with a 70-point push at some point during this game.
And you know, a player I would be remiss to not give the props to here. I mean, Bagel, this is a player that has been on the Splatlings here for most of this set, and because of that, it's kind of been odd. Bagel is one of the finest players that you will see of this Splash-O-Matic, outside of, ProChara, who has now given the Kings an opportunity to attack, but they have switched now so that Bagel is the one on that weapon and Ice is the one playing support. With no disrespect to Ice, he happily would tell you that this is not his best weapon, the Splash-O-Matic, so they have freed the beast, as it were, and now they just have 1 minute and 40 seconds left to defend.
But that defense is going to be difficult, especially with ProChara again with the crab tank in those grates. Now is going to be looking to try to cause a little bit more havoc, but someone comes up to meet him, and it is Bagel. The power clam tries to go in, but it misses. It's just a hair short. Looks like there's going to be Clicks trying to move forward here on that power clam as well, and is able to find that one, but there's no one else around before this power clam despawns, and it's all falling apart now for the Kings. They might get a few more into this, and now Clicks is going to throw that Booyah Bomb down towards the basket, but they still have a lot more to go, and just single digits in terms of the number of claims that they have on their hands right now. Trying to throw just a few more in, trying to extend this timer just for everything they can. The jump comes through though with another power clam on the name, and it's all of a sudden down to the 45-point mark. 2-down situation that looks like things are getting cleared out here, but there's still an opportunity for the Kings to come back and win this game if NFTWin isn't careful.
Yeah, totally different game at this point. 2 power clams will be enough to get them the lead. That is 1 firefight that you lose. So this has now completely changed, and they're still moving forward here. Kyo, are you going to jump out or are you going to fight? Trying to fight it out here, and I agree with that because it took 3 members to take him down there. Might have bought just enough time for the other members to get set up on the defense. Biscuit goes down. ProChara is moving forward, has momentum, goes and immediately tries to fight Kyo. Was it enough space? No, you can see that they tried to move up. And an incredible defense by NFTWin. Shelton is the last one up and is going to try to fight for all that he's worth there. But at this point, it's a matter of building clams here. I'm not sure that there's enough even on the map. Tara's going to try to go forward. Bagel was waiting the entire time. And again, a hair's breadth, but NFTWin gets it done on their counter pick. And there is life yet in this set.
Kyo able to move forward, find those extra few picks right when it matters most. I mean, again, ProChara moving forward there, and if he's able to jump out of his little shark, right, out of the ninja squid that he's currently using, and he's able to surprise any one of the members of NFTWin, the game flips the other direction, tournament over. Kyo is able to find that 1v1 just in the nick of time, reacts to the fact that ProChara was moving forward, and is able to find that splat, buys enough space on the range to shut down one of the paths back through on plat in order to come on back, and then the rest of the team turns their attention back to the side facing mid. And oh boy, the NFTWin might be starting to claw back here, Nine. They might be. There's life.
There is life, and I think that they've kind of pieced together here that no matter what, well, okay, I guess I shouldn't get too far ahead of myself, but I really do believe that any team configuration that allows them to keep Bagel on the Splash-O-Matic is going to be their best chance. Again, I know Bagel's mini Splatlings are very, very strong. I know that Ice is a very, very serviceable player here of the Splash-O-Matic, but again, Bagel has been maining this really since like week 4 of the game when we started to figure out how strong this was. Let him go. Let him cook. Ice can play a number of support weapons and has been doing so for a long time. And I think that they might have finally found the secret sauce that they need, but it's going to be a long road, and it starts here in Game 4.
Especially, it'll be an even longer road given by the fact that they have to win on their opponent's counter picks twice, right? So in theory, the advantage here, the home field advantage, sits to the favor of Kings. But we play these matches for a reason. They're taking us to tower control on Inkblot Art Academy this time around. And I mean, it's hard to tell what's going to happen at this point. Nine. I feel like these teams are, the compositions are mostly mirrored, right? And it again boils down to a lot of those small little decisions that these players end up making. Sometimes they're missteps, sometimes they're just the perfect decisions that'll decide the outcome of this series.
All right, folks, strap it in. We've still got some more fun to be had. And yeah, I would not be stunned if this is the comp that NFTWin goes with for the rest of time here. Ice over on the missiles, Bagel over on the Splash-O-Matic. Chara gonna stick with the Zimmy here. So when will we again see the missile battles come through? That might be a Splat Zones only thing, which we might see here in Game 5. Biscuit moving forward here on the attack. Kuro's down. Biscuit's got the head of steam. The missile's taken out. This is all NFTWin. You think they got some momentum going?
It sure does look like it here, but it'll be largely dependent on how much space they can actually take of the opponent's side of the map. We're starting to see them move forward here, but it doesn't look like they were fully able to take control of what we call bats up there, right above that second checkpoint. And Kyo now is going to fall here as well. That'll mean that the push completely falls apart. While it looked like NFTWin might have had something going, it's not going to happen this time around. Now Shelton going Spider-Man mode is going to be dodging around all kinds of attacks there. And now potentially an opportunity for Kings to move in, given by the fact that it's NFTWin now on their heels.
And no hesitation, Shelton immediately goes up and fights here, does some damage, knows that everybody else will be following up. Clicks actually didn't make the jump, so that threat is immediately gone. Kuro narrowly escaping with life, but they did get through the checkpoint, I believe. So at the very least, they're going to have an opportunity to make a follow-up push. And now Kuro is the one who is attacking on this side. The missiles will give them a little bit of stabilization, so they'll have an opportunity to at least set up their defense the way they want. But again, after what it looked like all NFTWin at the start, the Kings have an opportunity here. That's the lead, and they're looking for a whole lot more.
That's the lead, but again, frankly, at this point, it's going to come down to the second checkpoint. Will the Kings be able to capitalize on the second checkpoint? And it looks like the answer is no. Clicks will fall there in a delayed wipeout situation after that Booyah Bomb goes out. That second checkpoint still going to stand for NFTWin, and that means I think they've got a pretty good shot at coming back here, especially if they can find a few entry picks. Ice now popping those 10 missiles up to that far left side, but there's no one up there to try to follow up with these things. Booyah Bomb is thrown up that direction, trying to follow. You see Kyo trying to approach from the step here as well, distracting a few of the members. And now it's Biscuit charging forward into the bats area. Now it's Kyo coming in with the Ultra Stamp as well. They're collapsing one member at a time and picking their fights. And it's going to mean that NFTWin clears past that second checkpoint, and they're starting to move on forward even more. Shelton tries to come on back here, but it's going to be Bagel that's able to come up with a splat there on that Splash-O-Matic. Now Clicks pushed even further back as the tower still keeps going on forward. Where will Clicks go? It looks like finally able to find one onto Kyo there, and now it's an ink bath on top of the tower. Ice is forced to back on away, but it's down to the 15-point mark for NFTWin.
So much to break down there with the way that we attack. We said earlier, when NFTWin is getting their attacks the way they want, it's an artisan's push here. It is rotating people around so that you don't know exactly which fights you need to be taking and which fights you've simply been baited into taking. And so much of it opened up with Bagel moving forward and starting the attack. Now he's going to be able to defend here with the Crab. I'm telling you, folks, this guy, one of the best users of this weapon in the entire world.
Bubbler out, stalling for a little bit of time for the Kings. No one goes down early, actually scratched out. 1 for 1 at this point of the game. Kyo trying to find a little bit of an angle here. A little cheeky, but there's going to be enough chip damage cut out from that Crab Burst Bomb combination, and all the same, all of a sudden, it's stood on situation for NFTWin. It looks like Kings might be able to get past this second checkpoint, and then all they've got to do is get it past the third checkpoint, exactly where Shelton is currently standing. But you see Kuro, how did he even get there? Coming in from that far side of the map, and now Shelton's going forward on that Zipcaster. Able to find two, able to find another, but there's someone there. It's Ice on top of the tower, able to find the wipeout for NFTWin to hold themselves ahead in this game.
Was that a quad for Ice? A triple? I don't even know. He had one option left, and it was to dive the tower. An unbelievable individual effort. Ice heard me talking too much about Bagel and said, "Shut up, you idiot. Look at what I can do."
Oh, now strap in again, because we've got another one coming here. The Kings are cooking once more. 45 seconds left to play, and they've got a few specials online. Bagel's forced back, but Kyo's in position to try to play Disruptor here. Kyo doesn't find anybody on the trade. Shelton is able to get taken out by another one, though. Now it's a 3v3. Bagel in position with that crab tank, but it'll soon expire, and now we see Biscuit coming forward, trying to shut down this angle on the approach from the Zip Gas. We see Kyo now move in. Again, can't quite seem to find the trade, but it's a 2-down situation for the Kings all the same. They don't have the opportunity to push in here, and they might have one last-ditch effort in them.
Yep. Yeah, I was about to say, Chara's going to have to use this now, and is not going to get away here. Too much damage, too much, and make no mistake here, this game is done. That might be one of the great plays that you will ever see in Splatoon 3. If Ice doesn't get, and I mean this literally, of them, all of them, they
them.
lose the game. They lose the game. A double wipeout was on the screen at that point. All 8 players were in the process of respawning. Unbelievable play by Ice to save the game, to save the tournament, and to give us, K-Bot, one more game 5 with the potential of another one. But we know we at least get one more.
So let's remind folks of the stakes here. If Kings wins the next match, they are the victors of the tournament. GG, it's over. NFTWin has been doubly eliminated because we're talking about a tournament that's in double elimination. That means you have to, if you lose 2 sets, you're out. And NFTWin has lost 1, but the Kings have lost 0 times, which means that if NFTWin wins this set, both these teams will have 1 loss and they'll have to play another best of 5. So folks, if you want to see more gameplay, you are rooting for NFTWin in this game. If you want to see less gameplay and you want everyone to go home and have dinner, you want the Kings to win. But like, come on, we've seen enough game 5s here today. Surely you want more. Are you not entertained?
You know, Gaybot, we always say, and you and I have commentated many a game together. We've discussed many a game. When desperation meets greatness, that's when we see what we came to see. That's when we see what this game can be pushed to. And in these last couple of games, there have been moments where greatness met desperation, and it just created beauty. And I try not to be too philosophical about the way that Splatoon can look, but there's a reason that we've been playing this silly squid series for the better part of 8 years now, and most of us pretty much only this game, and I have no doubt that we're going to get to see another great game between these two here. Surprise, surprise, we're headed to tower control once again. I'm seeing Mako Mart on 1. I'm seeing Museum d'Alfonsino, so it is going to be Mako Mart.
It is going to be Mako.
And I mean, listen, where else would we be going here? Last 2 games, tower control, 1 on Inkblot, 1 on Mako Mart. Splatoon 1, 2, 3, doesn't matter. Let's do it. Put it all on the line, folks. Game 5, Grand Finals.
Here we are. Who's going to come out victorious? It's Chara switching over to the Flingzo roller here, ditching that Zimmy, ditching that big bubbler for that tower, opting to meet Ice with that Flingzo. And we've basically got mirrored compositions here in 9, just trade the Splatonic classes.
Yep, they're going to be doing some different roles here. 1 already down. It is Shelton who will be falling first, and now the attack comes through. The missiles weren't able to go on the other side. They're already attacking Chara. Is Chara even going to get to use the missiles will be the question at this point. Is able to. It looks like they backed off just a little bit. They want to get through this first checkpoint. It may have given them a little bit too much life on the other side. That's 2 down on 1, 1 down on the other. They don't know where Clicks is, and that's always a dangerous proposition.
Yeah, but Clicks eventually will get caught out here, and now we're starting to see more of this momentum come through for NFTWin. You see now Bagel looking for this grab tank, looking for the lob shots, trying to provide a little bit of that extra chip damage, trying to poke out where some of these members might be, and now the Booyah Bomb goes up there to buy a little bit more space. That's Shelton and the Zipcaster trying to disrupt what's happening on top of the tower here, and actually it's successful in doing so, paired with a few of the other teammates here coming through, and NFTWin is not on top of this tower, not able to keep the ball rolling here, and it looks like Kings have actually stopped this even without getting splats.
Yep, pretty well done here. Everyone loves to talk about, you know, what misdirection can do here with the Splatana Stamper. It doesn't usually happen quite like that. It usually, there's at least somebody who falls in the process there, but to do it like that, very good. That's another one here, the Crab's worst enemy, firing again. Shelton just doesn't even know what to fire at. Finally, somebody else follows through here. And now the threat still on here. Are there anyone over there to do anything about the checkpoint? It doesn't look like it. It is going to fall. They will nudge it forward ever so slightly, but they are looking for a lot more. The missiles of Ice will at least slow it down here so that they won't immediately get the checkpoint. But once they get Shelton back, you can bet they're going to reload and try it again.
Here we are on the reload. What will happen this time around? We see Clix trying to poke over, but it looks like the lead's going to come through for the Kings. They're looking towards the second checkpoint now, and they don't have many specials online. Shelton, though, has that zip cast at the ready. Now Clix up in the air with the Booyah Bomb here as well. You see Shelton over there on the side trying to support. Is now that Booyah Bomb coming through, and it's going to be able to find Bagel, but they weren't paying attention to Kyo, who's able to stop right on top of that tower and stop that push at the 38-point mark. Crucially, before the second checkpoint breaks.
Yes, absolutely. And you talk about, again, the slight small missteps here. May have been a misstep there by Clix to throw the Booyah Bomb up at the Crab when Shelton was already over there fighting it. At the very least, you get the sense the Crab wasn't going to have a major influence on that defense. Instead, the other three members were kind of just waiting at the spot that Clix was originally looking to throw that thing. So again, slight changes, slight missteps. You never know which one will be the straw that breaks the camel's back.
But now, potentially an opportunity for NFTWin to find another lead here. We see now Biscuit and Bagel both moving forward, but they're both going to get spotted by an enemy point sensor. It looks like that tower actually is going to be forced back by the members of Kings. There's no one else around right now that can really ride it. Biscuit trying to throw that Booyah Bomb up there, trying to pair that with the 10 missiles, buy NFTWin a little bit more space, and it looks like they're working on something here. There's two on the far side on that stack, and now it's two down for the Kings. Booyah Bomb out of Clix goes right towards that tower, but he's going to get taken down to the process as well. And now there's just a few ticks of the timer here before it goes down, and that's going to be the lead exchange. Will it be the second checkpoint breaking though as well? It doesn't quite look like it, as someone was just hopping off of that, and now Kyo goes down. Bagels to step on top, and that is going to be the second checkpoint breaking for NFTWin. And after that happens, it's going to be the jumps away. They got what they came for.
They did, and as you noted earlier, K-Bot, getting through that second checkpoint could be huge if they lose the lead here and still have an opportunity to make another push. Of course, they would love to not have that be a conversation whatsoever. They jumped back there. Bagel, most importantly, jumped back, meaning that we know we have a Crab here. Shelton immediately going after that Splash-O-Matic to try to break that through, but that's two specials they used already, and they're going to be able to take it out. Look at this, a Crab already put. Bagel saved it through all of that. You are not going to get away from Bagel's Crab in this scenario. That is one push that is dead. They only have to thrust aside maybe one or two more, and they will have themselves another set.
30 seconds to go. Watch the amount of paint control that NFTWin has. If it starts slipping and starts going back to the favor of Kings, that's going to be where this momentum starts to build up. But if NFTWin can try to hold the amount of map control that they have for now, they might be able to have something working. But now those 10 missiles come out. All of a sudden, so much yellow happening here. And again, reminder, it's just past this second checkpoint when that will be the final call. 9 seconds left to play. Shelton zipcast forward, looking for a few of the members and looking to try to distract them. Bagel can't now approach the tower at this point, and there's still a few members around on the checkpoint. But no, the collapse comes through, and NFTWin are setting us to a bracket reset.
2 points! 2 points is all it took. And again, just barely holding on in the fashion that they did. Both of those tower control games were dead to rights in favor of the Kings. Oh my goodness, Bagel holds on just long enough against Shelton to make sure that Shelton can't zipcast back the other way. The other members survive just long enough. They have a special in time to move them off the tower just long enough. And as you noted minutes ago, K-Bot, not letting up the second checkpoint in that initial push that the Kings got. That game is done and dusted if that checkpoint isn't there to protect them. They held on just long enough, and we have a second set of grand finals after our fourth consecutive Game 5.
9, we're 2 sets in. I feel like I've already done enough screaming for the day, really.
I'm feeling good.
You know,
I'm feeling great.
I don't get me wrong, I'd be rather happy if this went to a Game 5, but I don't know if I can take it at this point. I don't know if I can take it. Oh, goodness, folks. Strap in, because we've got a whole nother set to play. Starting from scratch. These teams now equal footing, 0 wins apiece. It all comes down to who wins the next 3 out of 5 and who will be taking home the victory here in IDYLL2. Wow.
Wow, indeed. And remember, folks, That was a reverse sweep. We sort of buried the lead here, K-Bot. I'm not sure that I've ever seen the Kings get reverse swept. We've seen them lose a set or two now and again, but there's got to be at least one historian out there who can call me a liar. But the point is, it doesn't usually go that way. And for them to lose in that fashion with 2 tower control games that they should have won, I hope the mental stays together. I want them to continue to play at a high level and give us another great set of Splatoon, but it's got to be gut check time for them. And we will start it off here on Flounder Heights Rainmaker.
Nine, to that point, by the way, you might not be correct in saying that the Kings have never been bracket reset. Or never been reverse swept, rather. But you might be correct in saying that they've never been reverse swept in a grand final set, whether that be the normal set or reset. Because most of the time, it's the Kings that are fighting from behind and they end up winning the tournament versus Starburst. This time around, the roles are reversed, and Starburst look like they might have a little bit of steam picked up here. But of course, it's Flounder Heights Rainmaker, where nearly everything gets thrown out the window, and there are Tri-Sloshers on our screen now, Nine.
There are, and there are also mirrored comps on our screen, folks. These teams figured out what it is they need to do. And look, we know that Tri-Slosher is a main weapon that is so difficult once it breaks through. If you react to it, you're already too late. You have to play preemptive against it. So you can see both of these teams have tried to set up their attack with that fashion. Shelton gets taken down. Everyone knows that you're going to be sharking right there, my friend. But so far, it is going to be the Kings that will have the first opportunity to make their case. Where is Chara going to go with this? This is a big fight. Shelton survived just long enough, and I certainly don't know how. Can this crab get the Rainmaker? That could be the difference in this. And no, they are going to be able to get through that first checkpoint. And everything we said about that tower control with the first checkpoint falling, multiply it by about 4 for this one.
Flounder Heights especially, where now they can just jump off and take that thing wherever they want to. But now, potentially an opportunity for NFTWin to try to respond here with a checkpoint of their own. Remember, they have the high ground here, and especially with the Tri-Slosher and this sloshing machine combination, they'll hopefully be able to find something, especially with the long-range picks of the Crab Tank. It's a 3-down situation against the Kings, and now all of a sudden, NFTWin gets the wipeout. They're going to be able to maintain this push after the checkpoint, take the lead, and start running forward with this one, trying to get as many points on the board here as Bagel. The Booyah Bomb comes out as well to get it down to 7 for NFTWin.
So masterfully done here. Again, the difference between 20 on this map and 7 is huge. You almost have to have a full wipeout in order to get it any closer than that. And now, again, they're still attacking. They're not yet done. And another one will go down. Poor Chara here, left holding the Rainmaker, is going to try to fire every which way, but is going to be thrown bomb after bombs after bombs. And again, because the people who were in front of the Rainmaker went down so quickly, there was no opportunity. This is not a map where you can jump it off the side without some great effort. And the threat is still there. Here comes Kill, gonna grab it again. Might not get any more points, but at least it's gonna keep the Rainmaker in a dangerous spot. 2 minutes into the game, it's all NFTWin.
They are still playing this one, but finally it looks like the Kings have taken all of the members of NFTWin and shoved them back upstairs on Flounder Heights. And now this Rainmaker will get a little bit more breathing room and a little bit of fresh air on the top floor, as we'll see what else the Kings can try to find. But with already Kuro going down, this might not be the push that does it for them halfway through the game's clock. Chara still carrying this Rainmaker, looking for an angle here, but again, not much blue ink ahead of this Rainmaker. And we're seeing Joe start to dive in here with that Tri-Slosher. Gotta be careful of where that exactly is going to end up. And now Chara is gonna be forced back by the 10 missiles once more. A few of the picks are happening actually here to the favor. Actually now both sides. It's gonna be a 2-down situation for NFTWin just as I say that. And now Kuro painting for clicks, trying to move on forward here. Now the Crab Tank comes out looking for the left side here, looking to try to paint a path for this Rainmaker, but they have to get those crucial splats in order to get this down to the 6-point mark. And it looks like Chara will eventually end up falling, but I think that might have actually been to the 60-second timer of the Rainmaker, and now it's a 3-down situation for the Kings. It falls apart there on the very last leg.
Yep, and again, barely holding on. A lot of avenues there where things could have gone wrong for them. If a couple of those shots from Kodokodo find a couple of those directs from the Crab Tank, and that's all it takes. No defense in the world is going to save you from that. So the subtle movements to keep themselves alive in those situations gave them the opportunity to defend it all the way through. A Rainmaker reset here. These Tenta missiles they should be able to step aside from without ceding too much ground. But they're in defense mode right now, it appears.
Oh, and as they should be, right? They're sitting in defense mode. They know that they have a very comfortable lead here, but it might have just faltered as we see that Kyo goes down. It's a 2-down situation for NFTWin. The Booyah Bomb comes out of clicks here, painting a little bit of path for the Rainator to come on in, but they have to keep the orange ink. NFTWin does in order to try to prevent this from going, but they know that all they have to do is try to guard the pedestal. In effect, it's 2 down now for the Kings. Clicks is in position to try to get something done, but it's going to get collapsed around there as well. And Terra's the last one up, carrying the Rainmaker. Gets 1 for the road, but now 35 seconds left to play. Shelton dives forward looking for a little bit more, but it's not going to happen that time around. And there's no one around for Kings to continue to keep up the momentum. NFTWin now takes back control of the high ground here, 9.
Yep, and again, the subtle stuff is Kyo gets a couple for the road here. It does look like they'll be able to hold mid long enough to maybe have one more chance at this. It's going to be a very difficult task with Shelton going down as well, but just, again, I want to commend the defense that there's been throughout all of this here. Now they get to defend from the easy part here. Even footing, even ground. They've got a Crab firing directly there. No one's getting within the area code of that Rainmaker at the end. And the survivability, it's the subtle stuff, folks, to be able to hang on in the face of an elite attack, an elite onslaught, knowing that if you go 3 or 4 down, you lose the game. That is 4 games in a row now that NFTWin has taken over the Kings.
Now, I mean, at this point, if you're the Kings, you don't have very many lives left. You can't lose another 2 games. Otherwise, this tournament that you thought you might have had packed up a bit ago, all of a sudden is going to fall out of your hands. So, is there something that needs to change? Now, let's asterisk this for a moment. We're probably going to see the return to the Splatana Stampers because it'll probably be any other map that's not Flounder Heights. Okay, that's step 1. So we're probably going to see the Splatanas come back out for both Kyo and Shelton here. But are there adaptations? What more can they do?
I mean, that's the $1 million question right now, or whatever the prize pool for this is, if there is a prize pool. It's not so easy to figure it out when, again, you feel like you should have won this set already. Because that means that you had something. You clearly had something, and it was working, and it was just out of reach for you at the very end. So I'm not sure that they try to do anything differently here. There's just a matter of small execution, survivability at the right time. Maybe they take a moment here to try to cool down. Maybe have Shelton diving in a little bit less. Of course, it's a little bit harder with the Tri-Slosher to get the same value out of a dive that you can with the Splatana Stamper. But clearly the difference has been Bagel moving back over to the Splash. Like, that is where this set started to twist its way into its current permutation. And I'm not sure that there's an answer per se to that. You just simply have to execute, make it work. And in those moments at the very end of the game, you have to be able to execute and find something.
Well, as I said a bit ago, it does all come down to that execution, especially after 5 hours of a tournament, after the Japanese players have been awake for 5 hours between the hours of like 2 a.m. and 7 a.m. or whatever time it is over there right now. And after all as fails, it's all about having the decision-making prowess in the moments that matter most to come away and walk away with a victory here. And talk about decision making. The Kings are taking their time with this counter pick here. You don't want to get this one wrong because the last thing that you want to do at this point in the tournament is start losing on your own counter picks, which admittedly they were doing a little bit there in that last set. The NFTWin was coming back on a lot of their opponents' counter picks. So we'll see what the choice is here, locked in for the Kings, as they've got quite a bit of work cut out for them. I'm stalling, folks, because we still don't even know what the counter pick is. There it is. Finally comes in. Splat Zone's Hagglefish Market is going to be the answer here, 9. You say yep. Why do you say yep?
Well, because I wondered why this didn't come up in the last set. And with the way that they were playing on tower control, I guess I don't blame them here, but this was one of the games that they won in their previous set. And this is one where they feel strong on. I think a lot of it might be a matter of whether or not they know what they're going to put Chara on. Because when we saw this before, the heavies came out. Like, we've all watched enough heavy Splatling gameplay to know that this is one of the maps where it is very, very strong on. So we will see if that is the pick or if they're going to end up sticking with the missiles. I think both sides have got a lot of value out of the missiles, but maybe that's why they were taking a little time. Terra's the only person on the team that really changes weapons a lot. And sometimes when you have one player who flexes, it can really put the team in an awkward position.
Yeah, certainly the case. But, you know, we'll see what actually comes to this. And, you know, you bring up the point of the heavy Splatling being strong here, right? A lot of sight lines for that heavy Splatling to get set up. And actually also, given the fact that we're seeing a lot of flatter ground here, it's also going to be able to move around quite a bit and rather significantly as well, right? They're able to continue to move around, continue to have different angles and take a lot of fights and be relevant for a decent chunk of the game. Of course, additionally paired with the Wavebreaker special, which is incredibly strong, and I think probably stronger than a lot of people give it credit for. I think most people are just like, oh yeah, you know, the Wavebreaker is over there, it exists, it does its thing, but actually it's quite valuable to have that little bit of extra chip damage, right? And that's a lot of what we've been talking about so far, and it'll still hold true here for this as well. So we'll see what the weapon picks that'll come out of both sides are. Of course, maybe there's a world where the heavy Splatling comes out on one side and the Flingset comes out on the other side with the hope of countering that heavy, right? And now we're playing a little bit of mind games. Who's going to pick which weapon? Who's going to pick rock, paper, scissors on the weapon select screen? But of course, as we keep saying, it's all going to come down to execution. And who knows? Maybe Ice will be able to come up with another quad on top of the zone on Hacklefish or something with that Flingset roller.
Well, folks, we're only a few seconds away from getting into this game, and I am holding my breath here. I want this to be another great set, and yes, that last game was the quote-unquote neutral map here, or at the very least, the one that neither teams had a say in, but it has been all NFTWin, and you would love to see these teams duke it out to the end with 10 incredible games. Let's see what the switch is to. Taking a look at it here, it's not going to be a heavy on one side, and it's not going to be a heavy on the other, folks. They are running to the finish with these comps, I'd wager.
Unless Flounder, for some reason, comes up again. But that's a whole other can of worms. In any event, here we go. Locking things in here, and we're already starting to see Kyo go on a bit of the flank angle here onto the far left side, but is going to get immediately jumped on and almost jumps off of the mech. Is going to be able to jump on away, but NFTWin looks like they're a little bit on the back foot here. Now Kyo switches over to the other side and is able to pick off a few of the members on the back lines there against the Kings, and that'll finally buy the space for NFTWin to push in.
Yeah, although it looks like they got separated there on their move in. There are a couple of them right by each other. Somehow they managed to find a pick on a Clicks on that side. Bagel's still over there and still fighting. Will finally get taken down, and Kuro wins the 1v1, so they'll, again, have an opportunity to set the lockout up. And most notably here, Kuro's going to get to use the crab from this spot if he so chooses. Opts to back it up there, but that is the real dangerous spot because the crab can really hit your spawn. Pops it a little bit earlier than maybe he wanted to survive, but he will certainly take it the distance with a punish and move Shelton up on the other side. This is what they wanted to do. Shelton moves back, got out of there alive, and if these missiles don't find some big value, that's going to be a lot of resources spent with not a lot of zone capped.
The other thing there as well for Shelton is that any time that you have a crab tank that's out, it is so beneficial to move forward with that crab tank and buy the additional effective range of that crab tank just by having one squid move forward and start shooting their main weapon a little bit. Exactly what Shelton wanted to try to do there, but it looks like the zone was left alone there for a little while, and NFTWin was able to find the cap, applying that penalty onto their opponents, and we'll see what else comes of this because now Shelton's starting to charge forward here on this far side as this Platana 1v1, but it's going to end up being a trade. 2 down for NFTWin. And the Kings continue their hold.
Yep, a good hold thus far, and you can see immediately Kuro moving back here, happy to even give up just a little bit of space and a little bit of the zone to try to keep relatively close to a crab here. they might have maybe been a little bit too lackadaisical with holding on to the zone. It does look like they're going to go 2 down here, and right now Kurokuro might not even get a chance to use this crab. Finally does, with 3 people firing on it. Half of this crab is going to be spent running away, and now it's going to be Bagel moving forward there. Now suddenly, NFTWin not only has won the engagement and the zone, they're already pushed up. Artificially, they don't even have to move past the zone because they were already through it. And Bagel is going to back up here knowing that there's a crab there. They're trying to play for the lead right now, and it does look like, at least for the time being, they will get rewarded for that decision.
They'll get rewarded for that in that case. Now we see a trade come out here, 1 for 1, and now NFTWin actually able to hold on to the zone. They go 2 down on the last, but now with the crab tank coming out and Shelton coming back in, it'll be the Kings able to regain control of that zone. But well done for NFTWin to hold on to things for a little while longer there. Back up, give just enough space to the missiles, but not too much because they have to come on back, paint the zone, and try to maintain their lead. But hey, that might flip right back here as now the Kings have a solid hold of their own. You see how far Shelton's starting to move forward here a little bit more. And now Zipcast, boom, that goes out. Crab Tank is down on top canopy, and they've already taken back control of the lead. Will they be able to go for the knockout here? Kurokuro finds Kyo there on that far side, but Kyo's going to come out with the Ultra Stamp. Booyah Bomb comes out here as well. Kyo's looking for the ink on top of the zone and is able to find it to find the cap there for NFTWin, closing out the window of opportunity for the game to be won there.
And again, you talk about decisions being made. The decision to have the crab go after Kyo meant that Shelton was left in a 1v1 with Ice, and Ice got the trade in that situation, a situation that probably Ice shouldn't have been able to get it. That is where it all started to fall apart from them. Just 10 seconds left in the penalty, folks. This is very, very close to the lead swinging back the other way. The missiles are going to go. That's a crab tank out, but they have enough people here to try to defend this zone. They're going to paint it for their dear life, and now Kurokuro's crab is almost all gone as well. A couple more seconds, the lead flips again.
Kurokuro's crab was looking the opposite direction, wasn't even looking towards the zone, and they didn't enable anyone from Kings to actually move forward. Now NFTWin continues to hold on. It's the machine 1v1 that goes to the favor of Biscuit on the far left side, but it doesn't matter because right on top of the zone, the Kings were able to breach the enemy lines. Now we're starting to slow things down here, and again, it's another penalty on the board, 9, and there's a chance this lead flips right back.
There is. That's missiles already. Kurokuro's crab is nowhere near to be found. Opted to go forward and fighting gets taken down. It's just Shelton here who has a chance to have a say at this. Is going to go after Bagel. Will the other members of the team be able to hold? Clicks is back. Who is on the zone to fight? Fire! Just a few more. The Flings is back. Kurokuro's back. You're not outpainting that. The lead flips the other way with just 9 seconds left to go, and that's if it even gets to 0.
4 seconds left to go here. NFTWin's trying to come on back. It's a 2-down situation. Will they be able to find the cap of the zone? Kyo comes up with the splats, but they don't find the ink in time to force overtime. And the Kings have found themselves an answer. Finally, after 4 unanswered wins out of NFTWin, the Kings have taken a game back.
My, oh my. What was it? 4 flips of the zone in the last 90 seconds at least? Normally, it takes a little while for these teams to build up their specials and create their set play, but at a certain point, they started to recognize that it was simply too slow and that they had to go about it the other way.
Now it's an effective best of 3, 9. We only have 3 more possible games to play where whoever wins the next 2 is going to come out on top. And if we've seen anything for the past few games so far, there's a chance we'll be seeing all 3. But first, it'll start with a counter pick coming in from NFTWin. What are we thinking here? Clams, brine water? Is that going to be it?
If I were a betting man, yes. I mean, again, they've played it so well, so sharp all throughout. I am more curious what the next counter pick out of the Kings will be. If we get to that, I suppose I shouldn't look too far ahead, but
yeah,
like they're winning zones. That's not the problem. They were seconds away from winning 2 power controls. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if their counter picks end up exactly the same over the course of this for both of these teams, frankly.
Well, we'll see what the case is for the future, folks. Okay, wait a minute. New map, Clamblitz Scorch Gorge is the counter pick locked in from NFTWin here. You have to imagine, feels like a pretty good Flings map here as well. So maybe Ice likes that. in addition. And obviously the wiper isn't going to hate it here, but there's also a lot of zip cast angles here for Shelton to come in on that stamper, right?
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of angles to attack here, but because this is Clam Blitz, though, that really only starts to become a big issue when you're already pushed back and trying to defend. So I'm not sure that they'll be able to use it to break out as much. And I would say that this map, under normal circumstances, is maybe Starburst's best map. I know this isn't exactly Starburst, and this isn't exactly the format that they usually use, but when they can spread it out, start cycling their specials the way they want to, and play the control game, they're very difficult to dislodge. So there are angles to go through, but you would really love for those to be during the chaos rather than simply breaking through. So some answers will have to be found, and we'll see. This is a unique counter pick here. I wonder if they've got something special cooked up for this one.
Well, we'll see, because it's battle time. It's game 3 now of our grand finals bracket reset in IDYLL2 between two teams that have been going at it for a total of 13 games so far. This will be the 13th, I should say. And we'll see what comes of this now. Very similar weapon compositions. Actually, Shelton
exactly similar weapon compositions there. Shelton has switched over to it. So call it out right there. We said we don't know what the Zipcaster will do here, if it's the best choice here. Let's switch it over here to a hammer and try to go through it that way. And gets taken down by Kyo pretty quickly early on here. 2 down on both sides already. But again, a crazy decision to bring it out here at this stage.
Activate the QR, get him back in there, let him fight again. That'll be the name of the game here in the middle of the map of Scorched Gorge, as we're seeing plenty of trades go back and forth. Now Shelton looks like he's moving a little bit further forward with the rest of the members of the Kings, given by the fact that it looked like it was a 2-down situation there for NFTWin. Ultra Stamp goes out. Hammer will not connect this time around, but here are those tentacles coming in from Ice. Their goal, slow down this push and actually enable NFTWin to start coming right back in through mid, and you see that masterfully done there. They take complete control back, and now might be looking to try to make a push their own if they have another special online, but they don't right now. They don't even have a power clan to their name either. So this one, I'll have to hold on for just a moment. Joe pops his Ultra Stamp. Can't quite seem to find anyone, just trying to buy a little bit of maneuverability space here, and now finally finds that toss. But now the Kings have already gone back to the other basket. These teams are just running laps around one another.
Now Shelton goes through, and I don't know how Bagel survived that there. Now Kyo finally tries to get back into the game here and runs into 2 chip damage weapons. Gets away, or at least gets really far away, which is almost as good in many scenarios here, because it should at least slow down the scoring here. Shelton will fight to this till the bitter end here. Is more than happy to go down. But all the rest of the while, I think another member may have dropped down on the flank and was able to take mid very quickly. This isn't usually how quickly you get back into the middle. They will score, yes, but what is the follow-up? How's about 3 down and a delay for the follow-up? There should be a lead here and a whole lot more.
Biscuit's starting to pull up a little bit more. You'll notice continuing to keep the presence here. Biscuit's not going back for the claims right now because there's enough people around. Now tries to back, looks for something, but also still sticks around to throw these fizzy bombs out there. And as you mentioned, 9, the lead will flip there. But now, looks like that'll be the end of that. Down to the 35-point mark, still neck and neck here as the halftime whistle blares.
Halftime goes over. Poor Biscuit stuck in a fight that he was never going to be able to win here. Now they move forward here. They have a power clam. That's a lot of damage the Clicks has already taken, but does get into his Booyah Bomb. Where are you going to back up to? Where are you going to hide? And how much space are you going to give up? Clicks is going to hold that for the rest of time, if possible. That's going to be 1. That's a second and the lead. But is there more to be had, or will they back up? Will they give it all up here to Seed? It is Kyo that drops down from the flank. It's the same scenario that we saw last time. Kurokoro is going to fight. Will he opt to fight it out or jump away? He does opt to fight it out. This time, Chara was far enough back that at least a little bit of mid-control will be there. Shelton's back to mess things up a little bit, and we will not see an immediate counter push come through this time, but you at least got to see the formula and the slight change on it later in the game.
But by the way, NFTWin has 2 power clams online, and they're already starting to take back a little bit more space into mid. They've got another person sneaking forward there with 6 clams on their name. That's a kill, by the way, but he gets taken down a little bit too far forward to get support from the rest of the team. And now it's going to be Biscuit who's forced to find that one on the Kuro, and it's a 3-down situation. Biscuit's going to come in with the football here, and that'll be the lead going back to the favor of NFTWin. Booyah Bomb going out here. Shelton's going to be able to find the trade, but where's the rest of NFTWin? Looks like Shelton tries to dive in, but they don't have enough clams to take that, and NFTWin is going to move on to tournament point.
Unbelievable. Kyo's survivability and pestering on the left side of that map. Oh my goodness. Make no mistake, the fireworks were happening under the basket, but the real meat of that push was how many resources and how much time had to be spent to get rid of Kyo's Stamper. We've known from day one, or -1 for some of us, how difficult that weapon was going to be to displace. The Wiper. That thing survives. It simply does. It backs up, it shoots, it moves forward, it hits you again, it throws a missile, or sorry, a torpedo, and then when you maybe try to dive it, it pulls out its Ultra Stamp, gets the quick punishment there, and then throws that. All the while, the rest of your team has been fighting it off on the other side. The pick that Biscuit got onto Kuro is what allowed them to keep that push going, but it was Kyo being on the left side there that really let them take that one all the way through with the, God, what's the weapon called? The Wiper! The Wiper. I just keep wanting to call it the sword, but there's 2 swords that people play these days.
Potential for 2 games left to go. If NFTWin wins the next game, they win the tournament. That's up. GG. Despite how many opportunities the Kings had to win this tournament in the last set, they weren't able to close it out. And now it's NFTWin's opportunity to do it. But of course, in order to do it, they have to go to the Kings counterpick, which has been locked in and will be tower control on Inkblot Art Academy. We saw this one in the last set as well. And boy, are these tower control games incredibly close.
They are, and we said this earlier, the tournament should have been over the last time that this one came up. Ice diving at tower and clearing everybody off with no time left. I mean, again, frames away from losing the game. I mean, again, this is what we said earlier, right? We figured they're probably just going to keep counterpicking what they've counterpicked before. Clearly, They feel confident on it. They feel like they should have won the last game, and now they'll try it again. So we probably have a pretty good idea of what the comps are going to be. Will they be able to take care of business on their counterpick? And then will they be able to get through whatever in the world NFTWin has cooked up for what Game 5 could be?
Well, we won't have to wait much longer to find out, Nine. It's Game 4 of IDYLL2. Once again, bracket reset here. You're watching 8 players that have all played and met in numerous Western online tournaments to come through and battle it out once more. Shelton back over to the Splatana Stamper this time around, but the comps are going to basically remain the same, including both those Flingzas, and Ice has got to be feeling pretty comfy given the fact that how that last game went.
Yeah, has to be feeling comfy. Like the last couple of games, no surprise, it is going to be the Kings who will strike first with an early look at the tower. Shelton is down, but they've already got Clicks moved up here, who's really kind of coming here with one mission and only, which is to say, get away from my tower, please. They will be able to get through the first checkpoint there, and they've moved Shelton up as well. Where's the attack going to come from, and where in the world did Shelton go? Hold on, still opting to fight it out somewhere. Got onto the Zipcaster as well. That's another one going down, so you'd have to think surely the push is done right here with simply Chara being there and running away. So second checkpoint protected. You're fine, giving up a little bit right there. But now what are you going to be able to get on your counterpoke? So much momentum is on your side. You have to remain patient. You can't let the moment get the best of you.
But now already we see Kyo, Ice, and Bagel, all three of them end up falling. Now slightly staggered respawns here comes through as Biscuit's next to fall as well. Kyo looking for an angle, but Click's zoning him away. And that 1v1 matchup, I think, actually goes to the favor of the machine in most cases, folks. That machine, that same equal range, but a little bit of extra damage with a little more accuracy, sometimes can get the best of that white bird. It's going to provide Kings with another opportunity to push forward here. They're at this second checkpoint, 9, almost close to breaking it, but doesn't quite come through this time around. Another 2-down situation, and it's going to hold for now. There's the wipeout as Ice finds the last.
Again, an incredible fight back and forth here between these two teams. And again, you have to wonder here, how far back are they going to sit in order to defend that second checkpoint? That seems to be the one moment that they're holding for and hoping that they can get their counter push the other way.
Oh, Crab Tank comes out. That's a devastating Crab Tank position there to completely shut down this push. You saw Biscuit trying to poke at Kuro earlier, but it doesn't matter at all once that Crab Tank comes out and starts shooting down with its high ground advantage. And now we'll see the Kings once again move in. It's Shelton first to go in, is located, so NFTWin knows exactly where this guy is. Has that Zitcaster at the ready, though, as well. Now Kuro able to find a little bit more of an opportunity, maybe looking for something here, and that Chara is going to approach the second checkpoint again, but it looks like NFTWin holds on once more. Biscuit comes up with one onto Chara now. Kuro trying to clean up, but it's just not going to be enough. Forced to retreat, forced to pull back, and they have tried 3 times now, 9, for the second checkpoint, and it hasn't fallen.
No, and I'm actually stunned that Kuro was able to get away. Probably won't be able to get out of this one. Everyone is firing at him there. Shelton's going to go back here almost out of necessity, simply to try to slow this down. There is a lot of momentum coming forward here. Clad has already been completely compromised, and a special chucks it at Kuro to try to get the main weapon back. And hold on, K-Bot. This is looking really, really bad here for the Kings. Kyo's already in an advanced position here. Shelton was able to get behind and fire at tower, but do they have any specials? They only have a couple more points to go. The missiles, that'll be enough. And where is Kyo? Is Kyo going to be able to make anything happen? No. Finally gets taken down. And we talk about incredible defenses there. I'm stunned the Kings didn't give up the lead there.
50 to 48, 9, 2 points of a difference. Once again, it comes down to the second checkpoint. We've got 90 seconds left to see who's going to be the first one to crack through that second checkpoint. The Kings still want to try to find that second checkpoint because, again, if they're able to find that, that's so much more of an ability here. So they're still going to play aggressively. They're still going to look for the push. They don't feel confident playing defensively quite yet, and they're going to go 2 down in this case. Once again, the push holds, and the defense is there for NFTWin, and they're going to start pushing this back the other direction.
And I cannot stress to you all enough what it means that Kyo comes back every time and always, without fail, gets clicks to fight him. That means that the machine is not there to push up, the Booyah Bomb not there to push up. Terra's gone now, that's their global special gone. Is anybody gonna be around? No! 3 down, it's just Kuro who is playing to keep the game alive at this point, not even trying to move forward and hold the lead. 40 seconds left, the patience here from the members of NFTWin. Biscuit moving back and throwing a bomb. They simply move back behind it, moving in sync right now. Both swords off the map. Biscuit moves back, knows that he might hold the special that could end this game. And already, K-Bot, they've got so much of mid. They have so much control. It would take an incredible effort here from the Kings in order to take this.
But nonetheless, it's doable. The Kings fighting to claw back and grab that potential tournament point back from NFTWin. Force us to get another game 5, but it's a 2 versus 2 now on the map. Kuro is going to go down on top of the tower, just Chara alive. Bagel's going to have a burst bomb for this as well, but Clicks is in position. The 10 missiles are going to start to come out here, but we see NFTWin starting to approach this tower. Chara is on top of it, and there's going to be somebody there for NFTWin to secure the grand finals for them. NFTWin are your IDYLL2 champions.